Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of The Offering. I'm Jerry Corbett and I'm your host. Again, I say thank you for being here. Hey, look, whether you support us physically, financially, through prayers or through visiting, through viewing, however you view us or support us, I want to thank you personally. Hey, you're the reason that we've been here a couple of years, and you're the reason that we keep on persevering. We're a grassroots ministry, but we want to expand our effort and do more stuff in person and just around, because that's the plan. That was the initial plan. So, but anyway, thank you. If you're here for the first time, please subscribe, ring the notification bell, and then like us underneath the picture, and we thank you for that. I get some of your comments and I try to respond, and thank you so much for your interest in the offering. Hey man, this is all God's doing, and we acknowledge God every time, and we give him praise because, God is our source, and we say thank you. Now, let me say this. We've been talking the last couple of weeks about friendships. We've been talking about treating people nice when they treat you ugly. We've been talking about what a real friendship is. And we've been talking about how to know when you're in a relationship but with a friend. But today I want to stay there but shift just a bit and to talk about friendship burnout. When are you burnout on certain friendships? Burnout meaning that you just can't muster it anymore. It's just too much. When do you know that you're at the point of burnout with a friend or a set of friends? That's what we're going to discuss today. Despite what people think, feel, or they have said, friendship burnout, it's a thing. It really is. And the thing is, we're all susceptible to friendship burnout. And the thing about being susceptible to it, it's hard to recover from it. When we are annoyed with something, say we're out of balance, say that it's just too much, and we become too weighed down in these friendships. Yeah, friend, you could be experiencing some friendship burnout. Listen, we burn out at work, we burn out doing tasks, I burn out in ministry, we burn out in so many ways, and we just need to back up some, refresh, regroup. The same is true with friendships. We can actually burn out on them. Yeah, so what I want to do today is talk to you about friendship burnout and give you 4 ways to know that you're at that point. Yeah, I want to give you 4 ways to know that you're at the point of friendship burnout. And this program, this video is designed today, its purpose is to help you increase your awareness that not only is friendship burnout a thing, but it also helps you understand you're there and how to modify your behavior. All right? So that's what we're going to do. And we're going to think about these things, and we're going to move through them. We're going to move through them kind of quickly today. But again, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for supporting this awesome ministry. Tell others about us and stay in touch with us. All right? Good. Now, here's the 4 things to know that you're experiencing friendship burnout. Here's the first one. The first one is if that relationship is just absolutely draining you and sucking all the juice out of you. Yeah. Say that relationship has become one-sided, or maybe it's too intense to the point that now it's overwhelming. Especially now, this is where you have to draw a line, especially when boundaries are not respected. See, because in some friendships, people believe that they can speak into certain parts of your life as a friend that they are not ever speak into. I don't care what kind of relationship you're in, boundaries have to be are established. You can only go so far. Even in marital relationships, you have to create boundaries in terms of your own person and your own self. So many times we're burnt out in these relationships. We're overwhelmed. They're too intense. Man, they're one-sided. They're out of balance. Listen at this. But we feel as though we're obligated to continue in that friendship in that moment. No, we don't have to continue in that friendship. We can take a friendship break when it's overwhelmed. Establish the fact that this is overwhelming for me right now, and I need to take a break from this. Don't continue on because you feel like you're obligated. Don't let these people around you suck the life out of you because, we've been friends 30 years, we've been friends since we were kids. Don't let them suck the juices out of you, all right? So the first sign of friendship burnout is that relationship is draining you. It's no longer feeding you. It's actually taking from you, all right? That's number one. Number two, not only is that relationship draining you, but listen at this, it just isn't interesting and fulfilling anymore. It's just, like I said, out of obligation. See? And when it's not interesting and not doing whatever it needs to do for you, you struggle to connect in pleasurable and meaningful ways. It's not rewarding anymore. Maybe your values set has changed. Maybe your ideas have changed. Maybe your interests have changed. And you don't have to make excuses as to why you don't want to hang around that person or these people anymore. No, just say, hey, I'm burnt out on this for a minute. Be honest. First of all, just be honest with yourself, and then be honest with them. Listen, man, this is too much right now. I can't with you, because it's just burning me out. And there would be nothing wrong with taking that posture. There'd be nothing wrong with saying, hey, I need to just chill for a minute because I've got to work on me before I can help you. And when you have different interests, when you have different value systems and different ideologies and different interests, man, that relationship it's boring now. The conversation is dull. We don't talk about anything. At least we don't talk about anything that I want to talk about because, I'm at a point where I'm beyond the petty issues that you want to bring to the table in this friendship, and it is wearing me down. It's draining me. So the second sign is to ask yourself, is that relationship still one that interests you and feeds into your value system, feeds into your ideology, feeds into what rewards you, what's meaningful for you, feeds into the fact that I don't get pleasure or I get pleasure out of being around you? Or is it a task to just be around you or just talk to you on the phone or just to text you? Make sure you take those out. To continue is to do your own self-harm, all right? And you should do yourself no harm as you would not do others harm, and be healed and whole and healthy outside of these relationships, these friendships, all right? Yes. And it's okay to, for a while or for a permanent time, to take some of these people out of your life. It's okay. They may not like it, but it's okay. You'll get over it, and so will they. That's two so far. Experiencing friendship burnout. One, the friendship is draining you. The relationship, two, the friendship is not interesting anymore. All right, here's three. The friendship or the relationship isn't growing you as a person. See? Friendships should be that which fuel us and grow us. See, if you've not grown in that friendship, and that friendship is not feeding your very intellect, your very soul, your mind, it is not enhancing and augmenting who you are, it's okay to step aside and say, I'm just burnt out. I don't want to know what's going on in your social media news media. I don't want to know what's going on in your life or in other relationships or wherever, at work or what. If it's not growing me, if it's not taking me to a level, if it's not, helping point me towards my destiny, my goal, then it could be burning you out. If it's not growing you up, like I just said, if it's not fueling you, it's sucking you. If it's not pouring into you, it's pulling out of you. It's not growing you as a person. And a lot of us are stuck in relationships with people that have not grown beyond those rudimentary, petty elements that were there 20 years ago. All right? And you have to be careful now, because we need to make sure that is feeding our soul, it's feeding our spirit, it's aligning with our spiritual beliefs and our spiritual walk. That it's that like-minded people, tells, even the Bible tells us, Amos 3:3, how can two people walk together unless they agree? A lot of times we don't agree on a lot of stuff. And I know, for me personally, I just don't have a large group of friends, and I'm very cautious because I don't want to hear a lot of stuff they want to hear. I don't want to be in a lot of things they're in. I don't want to associate myself with what they associate themselves with. It doesn't grow me. Matter of fact, it takes away from who I am and where I'm going. So I stick with those folk that I know can grow me. I mean, just like Sunday, I had the best conversation with one of my nearest and dearest friends, and it grew both of us. We fed off each other's energy and strength and passion and joy and what brings us pleasure. We fed off the fact that we have stories to tell that will not only help us but help the other person. And we left the conversation, fueled and charged and energized. If that is not the case in your friendships, you might be experiencing burnout, and you might want to step aside from that for a while. All right? That's 3. It's okay. So look at this. These relationships that don't grow you, listen at this, makes you become inauthentic. They're no longer satisfying. You have to become who you aren't, who you are not, in order just to maintain the friendship. You are killing yourself. It's not growing you. And you're growing to places and the things. Man, don't feel afraid to walk away from those things that are draining the life out of you. Stop trying to carry baggage that cumbers you and keeps you from reaching your mark. Don't do it. All right? Good. That's 3. You might be experiencing friendship burnout. 1, if the friendship is draining you. 2, if it's not interesting. And 3, if it's not growing you as a person. Here's the last one, because I told you there were 4. The friendship might be in the burnout stage. Listen to this. If it's not empowering you. Oh my. See, you need a source in friendships that fuels you. And you need a source in friendships that empower you, that builds you up, that edifies you who you are. You don't need to be in relationships where you're pessimistic, where you're skeptical, where you say, I don't know if I can trust that person or not. I don't know if I can trust what they say or not. I don't know if they're genuine. Now listen, those will suck the life out of you and take all the fuel out of you. See, this is okay in those relationships to reduce the time that you put into them, reduce the effort that you put into them, and it's okay if you cut contact time down in those relationships. See, these relationships are dysfunctional, and in these dysfunctional relationships, we lose who we are. And the truth of the matter is, we become like the people we hang around. Birds of a feather flock together. You know, you become like the company you keep, and it's wearing you out. See, if you are in those kind of relationships that don't empower you, it's a good time right now. Now is a good time to reevaluate. Yeah, because you want the opposite of dysfunctional. You want relationships that bring balance and peace and not dysfunctionality. So out of balance, no peace. Dysfunctional. But you want functional friendships that bring you balance and peace. All right? And what we have to do is make sure that when we see these signs, we don't mind walking away from it and getting out of all of that noise and saving our own selves and being able to then reach back and grab somebody else. It's okay to walk away from those. It's all right. All right? Good. My time is up, but let's go over what we've talked about. We talked about friendship burnout, recognizing it and knowing what it is. And these are some helpful hints to help you realize or recognize possibly that you're burnt out of friendships. 1, the friendship is draining you. 2, it isn't interested anymore. 3, it isn't growing you as a person. And 4, it is not empowering you. All right? Hey, that's the good news. Hang in there. Be strong. Stay focused. Live your dream. Reach your destiny and do what you always wanted to do. You're never too old to do what you always wanted to do. You're never too old to be what you thought you could be. All right? And sometimes you have to leave friendships in order to do it. Walk on strange ground. And don't be afraid to say bye-bye. All right? I'm Jerry Corbett. This has been The Orphan. Be a source of love. Be a source of peace. Be a source of unity. Be a source of uniting races, ethnicities, genders. Bring people together. Be an instrument of solidarity rather than pulling people apart and being in trouble. All right? Hey, I love you all. I'll see you real soon. This is The Orphan. I'm Jerry Corbett. Love you. Peace.